Hi everyone, and welcome to my fourth episode of Health and Wellbeing Education. Today I have to say I'm really pleased because I've got a very special guest, Nina, with me, and we are going to be talking about crystals, Reiki and yoga healing powers. Thank you so much, Nina, for joining me.
You're welcome.
I'm really excited about this one because I believe that we could share a little more knowledge about crystals and Reiki and yoga, really healing power.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I can start by asking you about your story.
So my story goes back quite a few years, and it started, the inspiration for my holistic living and yin yang therapies and Reiki and yoga came from my own experience and me suffering with some health issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to work in quite a stressful job.
What was it?
PR and marketing.
It can be.
And event management.
Yes.
It was very stressful, and I carried on doing this job for quite a few years,
Mm-hmm.
and then unfortunately I found that I had been diagnosed with a hormone imbalance,
Mm-hmm.
potentially caused by the stress. We don't know,
You
can't
never
prove
know.
it, but I think that didn't help.
Mm-hmm.
And so my lifestyle had kind of exacerbated this hormone imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
So they diagnosed me with a polycystic ovaries, which is very, very painful.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have swollen cysts and a lot of inflammation with your cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And also that was worsened by diagnosis of endometriosis, which is
Right.
tissue growing inside the uterus and inflaming every month.
Oh,
No matter what you do.
How long were you suffering?
I was suffering for quite a few years before they actually diagnosed me, and I've had I think 4 surgeries
Wow.
to remove the tissue,
Mm-hmm.
because you need to remove it when it grows.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to find a holistic way to deal with it, and all of the doctors were throwing Western drugs at me, which I tried, and they made me much worse. They made my hormones swing even worse from left to right like this.
Mm-hmm.
So they really made the pain much more worse, and my inflammation was worse, and it was just a terrible time for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I researched holistic ways of treating the body and started to become really interested in the healing powers of holistic living.
How did you think about that sort of way, that option in the first place? What came to your mind?
I just knew that the Western drugs were not working for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they don't work for people.
Yeah.
Some people they may work for, and that's their choice if they want to take pharmaceuticals. But I decided I didn't want to take that anymore. It wasn't working for me. It had bad effects for me. So I decided I wanted to research some holistic ways of treating my condition.
Mm-hmm.
And I researched and researched and researched, and I found some books on polycystic ovaries and endometriosis, and a lot of them were saying to change your diet, to change your lifestyle, to reduce stress, and also you could incorporate alternative therapies. So
that's normally how it all begins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Diet, healthy diet, and releasing stress from our life.
Definitely. So I sort of decided, right, this is the time to make the change.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed my diet and cut out gluten,
Mm-hmm.
and white refined flour and carbs, eating healthy grains, eating healthy protein, fruits and vegetables, and that was it. That made a really big difference to me.
How long did it take? Because sometimes these things
Quite a while.
it doesn't happen within a week or a couple of days, does it? So
3 months at least till I saw a change in my pain levels and inflammation levels and my energy levels, and then I added in the Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
So Reiki became my love.
Okay, nice, yes.
And, I went for a Reiki treatment, and about 70% of the pain had gone from my tummy.
Mm-hmm.
The inflammation had gone down, and nothing else had worked. So even if I took ibuprofen or I took paracetamol, it wouldn't touch the sides because the pain was so intense. So I tried Reiki, and I was so relieved when I finished that first treatment, I hugged the Reiki man because it was such a relief.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So it was like a little magic happening in your life.
Amazing. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
And it actually proved that after everything you've tried, that there was a healing power in Reiki, wasn't it?
I tried a lot of different things, and the thing that worked for me, especially with the pain levels and calming the body and the mind and feeling back in balance, was Reiki.
So you talked about the balance of the mind too. So you probably recognize how when you were working in that stressful job, how your mind was playing up and keeping you busy and
feeling worried and anxious about deadlines, and I was always behind. And I had too much work to do.
Yeah, did you feel like you were rushing through life?
Yeah, I
not
did.
Really living.
Yeah. I felt like I was on this like treadmill.
Yeah.
And it was just like going like this. And it was so busy, I couldn't have time to breathe. And it was just going like this, like this. So I was living in fight or flight mode, lots of adrenaline pumping around the body. But I wasn't as aware as I am now about health and holistic living. So I was just continuing.
So you just got on with it, didn't you? Until your body told you that it needed attention.
Yeah, and then I felt unwell because I had a hormone imbalance and it was getting worse. And nothing was happening, nothing was changing until then I was diagnosed by the doctors.
And that, yes, but how long did it take until from the time you started having these kind of symptoms and issues?
Quite a long time.
It takes us human beings a long time to actually do something about when we don't feel well.
Yeah, and realise as well what's going on and almost accepting it as well.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Yeah.
It's not only women but men as well. But men are probably a bit worse, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
they admitting and
exactly. Be a man. But hopefully we can make a change a little bit by talking about it.
Yeah.
So you went and had Reiki.
So I had
and
Reiki.
Then you started becoming interested in actually learning Reiki.
Yes.
And giving that energy that you actually found you have.
Yeah, because I was so inspired by this change in me.
Yeah.
So I knew that it worked. I was so confident. So I was so enthusiastic about this that I wanted to share it with people.
Yeah.
So I decided after a while to learn Reiki myself, and I did my first degree in Reiki, and I learned all I could, and then practiced on as many people as I could, trying to spread this, amazing healing energy and let people know, because not everybody knows about Reiki. And this was just for me personally, and I could self-heal as well. So if I was in pain, I could put my hands on my tummy and heal my ovaries and heal my uterus and heal my lower back when it was aching. So this was the thing, I had this secret weapon I could use, these hot hands that I could use whenever I wanted. But then I thought, you know what, I'm actually really passionate about this, and I think that I could take it to the next level. So I decided to do my Reiki 2, which is the second degree and also practitioner level. But I didn't rush it, so I took like a year to explore Reiki 1 and the energy, and then I decided to go to Reiki 2 and advance my learning and my knowledge. And at that point I then became a practitioner, and again practiced on many people. I did a lot of treatments for free for a charity donation to begin with, and to get my experience, my confidence with using learning with different people. And then after a few months I felt experienced enough to do treatments and start paying, charging.
And you were ready?
I was ready, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And I will take you a little bit back, because I know you've got a son.
Yes, so I've got lovely George. He's amazing. He's my miracle.
Yes, of course.
So
because the condition you had is kind of making it really difficult to become pregnant.
Very, very difficult. So it affects your fertility massively, and so does polycystic ovaries. So I had like a double whammy of 2 different diseases that would affect my fertility, and also, you know, kind of stop me maybe from conceiving, you know. So
what happened?
Well, I actually did conceive just after my 30th birthday, and I had not long been diagnosed with the conditions, but I was using Reiki and implementing this healthy lifestyle, and I had been for a while. Yes. And by some amazing miracle, I became pregnant with a healthy pregnancy as well.
That is really good.
It's amazing.
So it is doable. It's definitely achievable.
It's definitely doable.
Yeah.
I am living proof, and so is my son.
Perfect. Brilliant. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right. Okay. Well, shall we? I would like to really touch base on 21st century points of views about healing.
Yeah, sure.
Because I strongly believe that we have healing power within ourselves.
We all do, yeah.
We don't always explore more, we don't try to use it as much as we could.
Yeah.
So I would like sort of have a little discussion about what do you think, where do people stand when it comes to believing in healing power of Reiki and crystals and yoga?
So it's we need to make some progress, I believe, with educating people about Reiki and any holistic healing or holistic living. And a lot of people are still a little bit unsure because they don't understand what Reiki is, for example, and then they feel fearful of it. They might say, oh, Reiki's a bit woo-woo, or Reiki's a bit hippie.
I think it's also the case of people thinking, if I can't understand it, it can't work.
Yeah.
You know, because it's that kind of thing, like if you can't touch it, if you can't grab it, it's impossible to make it work.
So, and I always say, well, how about electricity? You know, when I have that encounter with somebody and I'm chatting to them, and I never try to sway somebody's opinion. If they want to have an open mind, they have an open mind. But some people have closed minds.
Yes.
So,
and
that's okay. That's their choice. But if somebody's in the middle and they're like an open skeptic, they might sort of be like, well, I can't see Reiki, so I'm not sure it's working. First, come and have treatment.
Experience it, try it out. Yes.
Okay. The second thing is that we can't see electricity, but we know it's there, and we know that the light comes on. So it's the same thing with Reiki. You'll see somebody walking out of a treatment with a big smile on their face, and they're calm and they're happy, and the pain levels might be down or whatever, you know. And so the proof is there. So it's the same thing.
It is.
And I like to encourage people to think of it like that, you know. And I think that we need to try and spread the word a bit more.
I think we do, because when we, at my experience and from what I've heard from clients and people, is that, you know, you have a problem and it's still in your sort of genetics to go to the doctor for answers, you know. And my experience, I have to say, is also when I was struggling and when I was going through a lot and I didn't know what to do, I went for that option and I went to the doctor.
Yeah.
And guess what? Yes, doctors were giving me answers. You will take tablets for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And you know, that was related to my heart.
Yeah.
So I knew it was quite deep, and I wanted to find the reason why it was happening, and I wanted to really search for the right answer that felt right for me. And I changed the doctor because the same one that I used to see, and I wasn't happy with her answers, I thought, no, I need to go and see someone else. And you know what? That was an angel. I call these people angels that walk into your life, they shake it a little bit and they leave. But they leave you with such a message. And that doctor told me, she asked me a question. So how do you live your life?
Interesting, because she wanted to know the background, didn't she?
She was interested in learning the basics of how I lived.
And how you got to where you got to.
That is an answer itself. Because I had to reflect on where I was, how I was living. And then, you know, basically it's down to you what you do about it. So you can either go for the easy option and take the tablets, and I could have been on them for the rest of my life,
which would have had terrible side effects.
It would, because I know I am not a big fan of tablets and everything. But that was just one of the things. And then I searched also healing process that I knew was going to help me to balance myself.
Yeah, amazing.
And I would like to touch base on it a little bit more, because you focus on balancing people.
Yeah, sure.
So you work with chakras, and I'm a strong believer that yes, there is so much going on within ourselves that we are not aware of, that no one teaches us.
Yeah, sure.
When it's so powerful, when you become aware of it.
Yeah.
So
definitely. So I work with the energetic system or the chakra system, and that's predominant in all of my holistic treatments and all of my yoga classes. So I'm a balancer, and I use various different healing modalities to balance people. So the first thing I use is Reiki, and Reiki will balance the 7 major chakras in the body. So we've got the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, throat chakra, you've got your heart chakra, and then down here you can't see, but it's the tummy, the solar plexus. The sacral chakra is where the ovaries and the testes are, and then the root chakra anchors us to Mother Earth. That's adjacent to the tailbone. So my job as a balancer is to balance these chakras. So often when a client or a yogi comes into my studio, they're not in balance because they've had some stresses, or they were in a rush to get to class, or somebody's upset them, or there's something in their backgrounds that's just bumbling away. There might be some family issues or anxiety or depression, and they may not tell me, but I can read them with my hands, so that's okay. So with Reiki, I'm manipulating energy to balance these chakras, to bring that person into homeostasis, which means that all the chakras are in balance by the end of the treatment. So I'm also using a combination of crystal healing. So with every single treatment I use crystals. So we talk at the beginning and we have a health consultation. I find out about you, for example, and then I will choose the crystals that I know will suit you best. And I'll place them on the body and then move them around as we rotate around the treatment. The other things I use are completely organic, natural products, nothing with any toxins or chemicals or parabens. Everything is enhancing the body to relax. I've got a beautiful chakra spray I use these in my treatments. I use them in my yoga classes. And here you'll see in the background we've got incense from India burning.
It smells amazing.
Yeah.
I have to say it does smell amazing.
We're really relaxed, right?
Yeah.
And I use sage to clear away negativity in the body. And I also use this amazing wood called Palo Santo, and this is really good at reducing anxiety and depression, but also it's good for manifesting abundance and prosperity and happiness and health. So you run this along the chakras like this at the beginning. So every treatment I have an energy cleanse for the client, and that's free of charge. And so I'm
just to jump in a little bit. Anxiety, depression and stress is a big topic these days, isn't it? It comes down to mental health.
Yeah, it's so prevalent. I must say most people that I'm treating these days are suffering with anxiety. You know, like 70% of my clients, and that's probably the same on the yoga mat, you know.
Isn't it a bit of a shame that we, as a generations, as we gathered together with the new ones and the old ones and everything, are slipping away from I would say the real enjoyment of life, based on simple little things?
Definitely. I think mindfulness has gone out the window a bit because people are just glued to their phones and technology, and we get sucked into it. So we're all guilty of this. You know, we've got like a mini computer we're carrying around with us, so we're available at all times.
But it's also the connection between the brain and the device that creates the problem, because you always feel like you've got to be on top of it, and because there is always something. There is the whole world happening.
Definitely. They design these social media apps to be addictive, so that you need to check the notifications in case you miss something. So as a result, your attention becomes scattered, and it really does affect your concentration, but it affects your concentration when you're away from the screens. They've done studies on it, that it makes your brain scattered.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
and it causes lots of issues.
It does.
Including anxiety, stress and depression.
Yeah, anxiety. Oh, I must read my messages. I haven't read my messages. What if somebody sent me an urgent message? You know, it's this anxiety feeling. It creates this anxious feeling.
I always try to sort of look at it as, you know, if this was your last hour of your life, it's a bit dramatic, but I should say a day. But yes, if you imagine that you only had 60 minutes, then what would you do? Would you really go on the phone and try and check what somebody else is actually doing?
No.
Or would you go and give a hug to the person that you love the most?
Yeah, you'd be in the real world, right? Not in the social media world.
Yeah.
You'd be in the moment, coming into mindfulness and having these special moments, you know, which are so important.
The memories and everything you've created that really makes you feel happy and yes, everything else with it. So that is beautiful. Shall we talk about, I think, let's put it to a perspective of a person that is not very open or just on the edge of kind of looking into this way of healing themselves. Because I believe that everybody could do with a little bit of healing or reflecting on their lives. But how would you say, how do the crystals and the healing really work? How would you explain it to someone to kind of get a clearer picture?
So I would explain it like if you could imagine a tree. So the Reiki and the crystals help facilitate a proper run of energy around the body. So the Reiki is easing out any knots in the system. So if you imagine a tree like this with lots of branches going up, and imagine one of those branches has a knot in. So the knot is something that's been caused by stress. So it could be a row with somebody, or you broke up with your boyfriend, or you got divorced, or you had a chronic illness, and a knot appears in your energetic system. So the energy can't run through the meridians in the body properly. So when you have Reiki, especially when you're using crystals to really maximize the healing, the Reiki goes through the knots and dissipates the knot. So you often see somebody who's having Reiki healing moving like this, moving with the energy, and this is the knot being taken away by the Reiki, and then the energy can flow through the body properly. So really what we're doing is we're just working with energy, but we're helping the energy to flow around the body properly instead of getting stuck, and then you're going to feel poorly, or you're going to get ill, or and you're going to so on and so on. You're going to feel anxious or depressed. So the Reiki just helps the energy move around the body properly. So you imagine a big tree with the branches like this, and the energy is coming down with no interference, no knots. There's no knots in the trunk.
And how do the crystals work based on our bodies?
So the crystals, actually, I will pop them on the body. So I'll place a crystal maybe on your third eye. So clear quartz, for example, is very good at clearing an overwhelmed mind. So cutting through.
Where does that crystal come from?
This crystal you can get from all over the world. So you can get them locally, or you can buy them online. But just be a little bit careful about where you're going to buy. Just research is a good retailer. So clear quartz could sit on here, the third eye, and it's very good and very powerful at cutting through these overwhelming thoughts. So you're going to feel peaceful, and these thoughts are going to filter away. You can use them on your throat chakra, just placing them here, and I actually put them on the heart chakra too, and all the other chakras on the body. So actually placing them on the body, you will feel the energies. So they've got really restorative and healing qualities. Each crystal is different. So each one has different qualities, and I know the different crystals to use on the different chakras. So that will maximize your healing.
Because talking about chakras again, it is all in perspective of each area can be affected by different life events, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
if we get our hearts broken, obviously it reflects in our heart chakra. If we are getting through stress, it might affect our
crown and your third eye.
Everything going on around the head.
Definitely, and then
else.
communication is here. And here can be anything emotional. Your tummy, your solar plexus can be to do with personal power. Your sacral chakra is to do with your creativity. and so on and so on. And your root chakra is to do with safety and survival.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
So it's
more to
all
the
connected
chakras.
to basically with the basics of when we were here years and years and years ago, when we were trying to survive and we were just learning. But it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
So I think coming back to the pressure from the society and the world moving forward too fast, it's really difficult to keep up with everything, with all the pressure, when we have not been built to cope with such a pressure, really.
Yeah, we're really under so much pressure. That's why a lot of us are failing. We're falling down with anxiety and depression, and a lot more anxiety because we're worried about the future, about paying the bills and paying for the roof over our head, and how much work we're going to get, and how many clients we can get,
and it's also wanting more than we have.
Yeah,
when what we have, I feel we should feel grateful for it.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
and not focusing on gratitude, because gratitude takes you back to the present, and you're thinking about what I have in the now.
Absolutely.
Which makes you feel happy. You know?
I always sort of see it as, where you are on your life journey right now is exactly where you're meant to be, and what you have is exactly what you're meant to have, including people around yourself.
Yeah.
So if you accept these 3 key points,
you're quite right. Accepting where you are and knowing that's right for your path, and there's a reason for it. With acceptance comes peace.
Yes. And you can always learn. This is the thing, we are always learning. So that's why we are trying to open up your minds and help you to understand that you can heal yourselves in a better, healthy way.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has the ability to heal themselves. They've just got to tap into it.
Yeah.
So anybody can learn Reiki. Anyone. You don't have to be spiritual, you don't have to be religious, you don't have to be naturally gifted, you just have to be passionate about it and willing to learn. So you could learn Reiki, and Claire could learn Reiki, and Bob could too, anybody.
So how does it work? Is it the energy that flows through the body?
Yeah, so we were talking before we came on air that I am just a facilitator of the energy. So I'm like, if you can imagine this tube, like a metal tube, because when I'm doing Reiki, I'm getting hot, and the heat is running through me, and the energy is coming from the universe here, and it's unlimited.
It's around us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's everywhere. So I'm just tapping into this energy source, and then this energy is coming through me. So when I give a treatment, I actually get a beautiful dose of Reiki as well. And then it's flowing through me and into you. So I'm just a facilitator of the energy. And also when I'm teaching yoga, I'm a facilitator of the healing powers of yoga. So I'm a yoga guide, and I would be very wary of anyone saying they're a yogi expert or an expert yogi, because you are a facilitator of the yoga asanas, the yoga experience, and you're guiding people to move into this position or that position, or to do so breath work and meditation. So I never like to say I'm an expert. I'm facilitating and guiding people.
That sounds nice. Brilliant. Absolutely. Right, okay, well, let's go into benefits for women.
Benefits for women, so lots of benefits for balancing hormones, and of course I'm going to be telling you about that. Yeah, and especially when we're facing our monthly cycle every month, and then we've got menopause to think about. So top tips would be using natural balance to get these hormones into homeostasis, so going to sleep at the same time every night to get into your natural circadian rhythm, waking up at the same time, watching your stress hormones like cortisol. Cortisol can come on if we're very stressed. Too high cortisol will make your body unwell. You will gain weight around the middle, and you'll be able to fall asleep but wake up at 2, 3, 4. Your sleep will be interrupted. So researching food that can drive down cortisol, and also lifestyle tips and tricks like going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, The other thing would be to implement yoga into your lifestyle, if you haven't already, to just still the mind, calming the mind, taking yourself away from technology.
Everything.
Yeah, switching off, unplugging, respecting your own self-care, and making yourself the number one priority. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else.
And we are here for ourselves.
Yeah, we are.
So people need to take care of themselves first.
You need to take care of yourself first, and then you can put the life jacket on somebody else. If you don't, you can't do that, right? So the top tips for women are to try to balance the hormones through nutrition, healthy nutrition, the right sleep patterns, using yoga, also using lovely essential oils to balance your hormones. Lavender and geranium are really great at circling around the ankles if you have endometriosis or polycystic ovaries, or if you're going through the menopause, it can help to stop hot flushes. And generally treating yourself to some holistic goodness, like treatments, or you go for a walk in the park, or reading a book to switch off.
So it's really to kind of focus on the good things that make you feel good and valuable, value your own life, compared to giving to others, or giving your energy to work too much.
Definitely, you can't give an empty cup. So it's not selfish to take yourself out of that and think, okay, I really need to look after myself. It's actually a great thing.
It's a good thing, yes. And what about the opposites? What about our other halves, men?
So for the males out there, I would try to encourage men to embrace their softer side a little. So even if you're going to feel a little bit vulnerable to start with, that's okay, and you can do it in your own privacy. So you can practice yoga at home and meditation to decrease stress from your jobs. And I think men also feel a great responsibility to the family, providing for the family. And I think a lot of men suffer with that internally and they don't say anything. Often that can manifest into depression if they're looking back into the past and think they haven't done a great enough job or earned enough money, or anxiety if they're looking to the future and worrying about the bills and providing for the family. So my top tips for that would be to implement more balance into their lifestyle, and to remember that you are not being weak if you are stopping and just having a check-in on yourself and implementing some self-care. So a lot of men are holding stress in their shoulders, and they have tight muscles in the hamstrings. A lot of the exercise that men do can be like running or boxing. Not everything, but in my case, in my experience, I find that if they do come to yoga, they're very tight because they haven't done a lot of stretching. So I would encourage them to be more open-minded with the holistic side of things. And actually, there's more and more men turning up to yoga, which is great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they're really, really enjoying it. And it's a real relief to them that they can switch off from all the responsibilities that they have. And it can help if the testosterone's getting too high and they're feeling a bit angry at the drop of a hat, or they're feeling a bit snappy. When the testosterone becomes too high, the yoga can balance that back down. So can Reiki, balancing the hormones for a man.
That is nice, yes. So basically for men and women, it is really finding the right balance.
Yeah, it's just about balancing, and that's exactly what I do. So I can help with treatments, yoga, and any tips as well. Chatting about
absolutely. But it is really nice to actually hear that there are ways, rather than just ticking day by day and trying to create that pressure that we do often put on ourselves. And you actually said something about not having enough or not being enough. I think we suffer with that because it's again the expectations from the outside world about who we should be, and it's just draining because
really it's exacerbating anxiety and depression because we feel like we can't measure up. And one of the things that is really increasing that is social media. So, for example, Instagram, I think it's a great tool for getting communications out there. But if people sink into the wrong side of it, they can look at Instagram and start comparing their lives to a lifestyle that isn't real. And the pictures you might see of somebody else are snapshots of the best moments of their life, and they're filtered heavily and taken in amazing light, and maybe they're turning this way and they look thin in this way, or they've got some watch on that's £5,000 that they borrowed, is not actually theirs. So there's this reality that isn't real, and it's dangerous because we may buy into that thinking it is real, especially a lot of teenagers. And there's been studies showing that a lot of teenagers, and now the numbers for anxiety-ridden teenagers is skyrocketing because we have a lot of social media use, heavy social media use in the teenage years, and it's really shooting up numbers of anxiety.
It's very unhealthy, and I have to say I've met a few teenagers, and I am just shocked that at such young age they are so lost and so vulnerable when it comes to their self-belief and how they compare themselves to others. And I have to say, the people that I've been talking to, actually, they're already on antidepressants at such a age that you're kind of thinking, but where are you going to be in 10 years' time? And you know, it's also, I feel that it's our responsibility of the people that are aware of it to actually try and do something about it. So talking about it, bringing the attention out, you know, again, stressing out that yes, you are a man, but you are a human too. You are aware, you're allowed not to be well, and if you're not, then there is always something you can do about it, you know. But open up those doors that yes, there is an issue and there is always a way forward. But we need help.
There's always a way forward, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And it's okay to be weak. In fact, it's even stronger to admit, you know, I'm struggling. I need some help, whether that's changing your lifestyle, your nutrition, or you're reaching out to supportive people, and just removing yourself from things that don't serve you.
That is important.
It's really, really important.
So that brings me actually to my last question, but I really want to say thank you, because I believe that we touched base on quite important, sensitive topics that I do believe need to get out there more to create awareness. Because I would like to create awareness about that we are all humans, and I want to ask you how you deal with life challenges.
So basically, life challenges, they all come to us, don't they? Sometimes it's a bad time and you're feeling like, how am I going to get through this? So I implement the same thing in my personal life. I use balance. So if I'm struggling with anxiety, or I'm feeling a little bit depressed, I'm going to go and look at myself first. So I'm looking at why I'm feeling like that, and I'm trying to go inward to look at my feelings, acknowledging my feelings, thinking about why I'm feeling like that. So I self-reflection, understanding why I'm where I am and why I'm feeling like that. And then I like to think about how I can improve my situation. So I surround myself with support network. So I've got an inner circle that I can talk to, really talk to. You know, and really.
It's important. Support is important.
So it's not a big circle, but they're really important in supporting me and uplifting me. I'm using Reiki daily. Good.
So you can keep on top of it.
So if I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, the first thing I do is have Reiki healing. So I might heal around my crown chakra and my third eye, or my heart chakra. If someone's upset me, I'll go straight to my heart chakra. And I'm really lucky because my home is filled with crystals.
So the energy is everywhere.
Use my crystals, and I'll do healing with crystals. And I'll take time out. You know, even if I'm really busy, I'm going to take half an hour out for me because I'm worth it. I need to get myself back into balance. And the other thing is to switch off completely. I love it.
You love it. I love how you said it.
I just, you know, if I could get away with not using social media, I would.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I need to use it for business, so
Yeah.
I have to be on it.
It's okay.
So I unplug. People might think it's rude or I'm antisocial, but I have to do it for me.
I think everybody should get into believing that, you know, it is actually healthy to unplug.
Definitely, yes.
Because when you separate yourself from everything and everyone and you really
Yeah.
take the time for yourself,
Yeah.
then you actually really realize how you're feeling
Yeah.
and what you need to do.
Separating yourself from
Yeah.
this noise.
It's like having that space to actually take a fresh breath in,
Yeah.
and when you let go, just let go of everything.
Yeah.
Because nothing matters more than
There's
this
nothing
moment.
better.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
exactly.
The other thing is reading. I love to read, so
Mhm.
I want to stop this chatterbox mind
Yeah.
and tap into my higher self.
Yeah.
So we can do that through meditation, through yoga, through Reiki, through walks in nature,
Yeah.
or reading. So you're going to think about what you're reading about.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about your deadlines or about your ex-boyfriend or this thing that upset you. You're imagining what you're reading. So reading is amazing. And also grounding myself, just taking a moment, maybe some meditation. You can do lots of free guided meditations on YouTube. They're really excellent at the beginning of the day, in the morning, or at the end of the day. And
It sort of gives
Yeah.
you, it brings you to the present moment, doesn't it?
yeah.
But I feel that we still need to learn to allow ourselves to go into that space
yeah.
and to give ourselves that time of the day where, yes, I'm going to spend half an hour just doing nothing or
Yeah.
meditating
Yeah.
or just going for a walk, but to actually achieve that balance that all of us human beings need,
Yeah.
I do feel is the key.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
letting yourself be.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Nina.
You're welcome.
I really enjoyed the talk,
Yeah, me
and
too.
I believe that we really tapped into the topics that are not discussed as much as they could be.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
hopefully let's get people talking about it. All right. I hope you enjoyed it, and please do look at yourselves and your lives, and if there are areas that might need improvement or you're unwell, look for the ways that will actually be healthy, because they're there basically. All right. Thank you again for watching, and join me next week with my next guest. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you.
Thank you.